as discussed, in this video I'll teach about how to look at the basic astrology. So first, open any astrology app or any website where you can look at birth charts. As an Indian, I prefer Vedic astrology, which is more accurate actually. So open the site and enter the birth details, time, place, and you will find the birth charts. And now you can check the other person's birth chart, so you can look at the synastry. Now look at the planets and signs they are in. In astrology, we have 12 signs and 9 planets. Actually, the planets, degrees, and the nakshatras they are in matter a lot too, but in deeper aspects. But before that, we'll just stick to simple understanding here. So first sign, which is Aries, hence the number assigned is 1. So each there are 12 zodiac signs, right? So each one is assigned a number so that it will be easy for you to understand when you look at the chart. So 1 Aries, 2 Taurus, 3 Gemini, 4 Cancer, 5 Leo, 6 Virgo, 7 Libra, 8 Scorpio, 9 Sagittarius, 10 Capricorn, 11 Aquarius, 12 Pisces. You will remember this when you keep looking at the birth charts. That's how I remembered. Then these are the numbers and their signs you need to remember. And then the houses. There will be 12 houses as said. Each house represents each aspect of life. First house or rising sign, or they call the ascendant. The first house synastry is one of the strongest houses for instant attraction and awareness. The first house represents physical appearance, body language, personality, identity. So the first house can feel very intense, like seen, activated, energized. So if someone's planet falls on your first house, you'll be instantly drawn to them. Like you can't ignore the person. So the second house actually shows values, security, voice, money, self-worth, comfort. This overlay isn't as loud as first one, but this creates a strong attachment over time where you slowly become part of your life. So this one is like for long period, it goes slow. And third house, this represents speech, communication, speaking style. If someone has Mars or Saturn in their birth chart, their speech can be very harsh or straight to the point that others get hurt. In synastry, this placement gives always have something to talk about kind of connection. The communication flows naturally if the planet is supportive. As said, it depends on type of planet is in synastry. And then fourth house, this is like one of the best combinations. This represents home, comfort, emotions, mother. So if someone's moon falls in your fourth house, they are like your home. You feel they are like your home and you have strong emotional bonding. This is one of my favorite synastries. The house person gets emotionally vulnerable to the moon person, and they feel utmost comfort, and the love naturally pours out like devotion towards the moon person. So yeah, I love this synastry. And then fifth house. This house is house of romance, sex, flirting, crush, pleasure, children, fun. If someone's planet falls in your fifth house, you instantly get attracted to them and want to pursue them and flirt with them. So this basically gives huge crush on someone. And sixth house, this house isn't basically romantic at all, but it's more like service oriented and daily life routines, health, work. This placement shows more like I like to interact on daily basis with you and would show love through service and help kind of thing. Then seventh house. This house is most important house in synastry for relationships. This house represents marriage, relationships, long-term partnerships, commitment. So if someone's planet falls in your seventh house, you feel like they are partner material, or you naturally imagine being in relationship with them. And eighth house, oh man, this is the most intense house overlay in synastry. The house represents obsession, intimacy, psychological bonding. So this house basically feels like, why do you affect me this deeply? This connection feels intense, consuming, magnetic, even sexual, without even any physical intimacy. This gives kind of obsession on some people, mainly if their moon falls in your 8th house. You get obsessed with them. And then 9th house. This house is about spirituality, beliefs, philosophy, culture, travel, wisdom. This ninth house synastry often gives relationships with where you can teach each other and expand each other's perspective on life. It's more of dharmic connection where you marry and move together towards spirituality and liberation, that kind of house. In 10th house, oh man, this synastry is about status, reputation, career, long-term goals. If someone Mars falls in your 10th house, they activate your career and motivate you towards your passion consciously or unconsciously. It's not something kind of romantic, but yeah, they pursue you towards your passion. 11th house shows friendships, social connections, shared goals, dreams, wishes. This house industry gives you more kind of friends to lovers kind of relationships. 12th house. This house represents subconscious emotions, hidden feelings, spiritual connections, telepathy, dreams, sacrifice. As a 12th house stellium person, I connect more to this synastry. Where someone's planet falls in my 12th house, I dream appears and I start noticing them and develops into a crush and hidden feelings, spiritual feeling, telepathic connection, and of course it ends with me sacrificing in the end. So yeah, this is how you look at the birth chart, the numbers to represent signs, and each planet. There are 9 planets as said. I'll tell you about each house and the planet, type of planet falling in each house's synastry next videos. So that's all for now. This is the basic. You can learn more if you follow my channel. Let's make this astrology journey more interesting. I'll try to make it more simpler and easy understanding. That's all for today. Bye bye.